Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning for those of you who are here in Hong Kong joining us live, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our guests joining us online from around the world. Let me first introduce myself. My name's Desmond So, and I'm delighted to be your MC for today's conference. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 Yidan Prize Summit, Teaching Matters, Supporting Educators Through a World of Change. 3 years into the pandemic, educators and learners from around the world have experienced enormous changes in the way they teach and learn. These changes make us increasingly aware of the pivotal role that educators play in shaping education quality and learning outcomes. In this year's summit, we're shining a spotlight on teacher development. We're going to explore such topics as reshaping teacher preparation in light of the pandemic, technological innovations that transform STEM education, what it means to be a teacher, and models of partnership that support teaching for well-being. Today's summit gathers policymakers, educational practitioners, and innovators from around the world to address solutions to these challenges. Now, before we begin, I'd like to just go over a few housekeeping matters. Please keep your mask on at all times except when you're eating and drinking. As you'll see, there are also sanitizing wipes and mask covers on your tables for your use. And if you do post photos online, which we hope you do today on social media, please be sure to keep your masks on. Now, I mentioned social media. Please feel free to use the hashtag Yidan Prize Summit. Once again, that's hashtag Yidan Prize Summit, and tag us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as WeChat. Last but not least, of course, we would like you to enjoy the event today. We're delighted to welcome speakers from around the world. And due to time differences, some of the panels have been pre-recorded, but we'll still have a chance for some live Q&A with some of the speakers. Several of our speakers have joined us here in Hong Kong. They've flown great distances to be with us, so a special thank you to all of them. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Of course, we encourage you to ask questions. Please share your questions via the QR code on your screen for those of you who are joining online. For our in-person guests, the QR code is also on the back of your pamphlet. So please scan that QR code to ask questions. We hope that you'll have a wonderful time today. In 2016, Dr. Charles Chen Yidan established the Yidan Prize with a mission to create a better world through education. Now in its 6th year, the Yidan Prize continues to champion innovators and change makers in education. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Charles Chen Yidan on stage to make our opening remarks. Dr. Chen, please.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. A very warm welcome to our guests joining us online around the world, and to everyone joining us here in person in Hong Kong. I am delighted we can be together. Today, we bring together the brightest minds from the fields of psychology, sciences, economics, and social ventures. And we champion their innovative ideas and practices to inspire change in education for the future. And the summit has a special role to play as we convene a broad cross-sector of experts on their international stage for impactful education philanthropy. Our summit focused on teaching this year because our Yidan Prize laureates not only place learners at the heart of education, they also ensure that educators are well prepared and well supported to deliver quality education for all learners. Professor Yongxin Zhu, Our 2022 laureate for education development will talk about the importance of building a strong professional identity as a teacher and the power of peer connection. Dr. Linda Darling-Hammond, our 2022 laureate for education research, will discuss how teacher preparation has changed in light of the pandemic. Professor Carl Wyman, our 2020 laureate for education research, will challenge us to think like scientists, to share powerful STEM learning tools for the classroom. We will also hear from private foundations and educators about collaboration and the changing role of philanthropy. We proudly share inspiring stories of teachers in Hong Kong and from all over the world. Education is an ecosystem. For this ecosystem to thrive, it must provide the conditions that recognize and support the essential work of educators and enable their success. Many of us will remember the teachers who set us on a journey of deep reflection and interesting discoveries. Throughout my journey, I have been lucky to encounter many great teachers. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you 3 teachers in my life. My first teacher is my illiterate grandmother. Grandmother's teaching shaped my family's daily life, as my parents were very busy at work. She helped raise both my younger brother and I. Neither did she preach nor put any pressure on us. She simply loved us unconditionally and was always so supportive. Throughout her life, she was a patient listener and was always willing to help others, kind and generous. She made everything seem so much warmer and better. She made me feel safe growing up, and she was my steady source of comfort and strength. To this day, she remains a role model for me. The second teacher I have is actually a group of teachers from the schools I attended over the years. In addition to teaching us subject knowledge, they also managed class affairs and took care of us all. I remember most vividly the head teachers in my first year of primary school, the first year of secondary school, and the first year of transfer to another school. They were the ones who helped students settle into a brand new environment, the ones who led us to navigate change. It may be pure chance, but for many years, my head teachers were always Chinese or English language teachers. My focus on the humanities is in part due to this experience. The third teacher in my life is classics. As we grow into adults, we need to improve ourselves in embrace lifelong learning. by reading and drawing wisdom from the classics. Learning continues. It enriches my life, and its benefits extend beyond acquiring professional knowledge. I am profoundly influenced by traditional Chinese culture in all of the teachings of Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism. It's a pleasure for me to read them over and over again, practice, and reflect on what I learned. I deeply appreciate the wisdom of ancient sages. Every time I revisit the classics, my understanding deepens. And that has been my fountainhead of inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that teaching matters. We know teaching stretches far beyond imparting knowledge. It's complex and collaborative. It's enriching and rewarding. We hope that the interesting discussions today will spark new ideas for more collaborations. Let's work together to create a better world through education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles Chen, for that very warm welcome and the wonderful stories about his 3 teachers.